Welcome to Old Spice College Lacrosse on ESPN. The start of the 2022 season here on ESPN, and it's a bright, sunny day in Baltimore, Maryland. Cold, though, 29 degrees, and windy, as you might expect in early February. We've got Johns Hopkins, ranked number 19th in the country, and Jacksonville on tap. Hi, everybody. Alongside Quinn Kesnick, I'm Chris Cotter. Q, we know that y'all at home are just as excited as we are to start the 2022 season. It's going to be a blast.
Opening day, baby. This is everything. Let's go. Let's rev it up here. The fans are excited. The players have worked so hard for this moment. It's going to be an awesome spring as we take that first step towards the road to Hartford. But looking forward to every moment.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Peter Millman and Johns Hopkins, they're looking forward to putting 2021 in the rearview mirror. Very disappointing season, but hope springs eternal even in winter here in February.
Look, they went 2-8 in the Big Ten, but they finished with a flourish, finishing 2-2. Okay, they beat Penn State, they beat Rutgers in that Big Ten tournament. They lose to Maryland twice close, so there's hope. They got a young midfield group that should be strong. I think their defense will be improved, so there's a lot to look forward to for Coach Millman in his second season.
Yeah, you see he's in his second season, had 2+ great seasons at Cornell before coming here and taking over for Coach Petramala and rebuilding this Hopkins team. Had a disastrous season last year in terms of COVID and everything else. Meanwhile, John Galloway in his 6th season at Jacksonville, he's really building something down there, isn't he?
He is a first ballot Hall of Fame goaltender who won 2 national titles at Syracuse, and he's a great young coach. 13th year for this Jacksonville program. They're in the SoCon. They got a diverse roster, 19 states in Canada. They're moving up in terms of the national rankings.
Nate Kapp will face off for Jacksonville. Tyler Dunn for Hopkins, and we're underway from Homewood. Battle for the loose ball as it goes out of bounds, and it will be Hopkins' ball. Ball in the cross of Cameron Chauvet, injured all last year, number 17 on this starting attack line with Connor DeSimone and Joey Epstein coming back from last year, Q.
See Keogh, 4 in white. Jacob Angelus, 23, has been their best player so far in this preseason. 23 in whites, but 23 in blue. Hopkins unusually wearing their blues at home. He's been dangerous.
Yeah, both teams wearing their dark jerseys, which is kind of cool to see. This is DeSimone up top. Angelus, still 40 to shoot, plenty of time. Angelus now making his way to the goal. He'll shoot and score! Jacob Angelus, they call him Sandpiper because of how quick his feet are. You saw it on that play as he got right to the goal mouth and buried it.
They had a huge scrimmage last week at Denver. Look at the separation quickness. Able to create space, gets underneath, and pays the price. That'll be a foul against Jacksonville after this ball finds net. Jacob Angelus has got to be covered by a long pole. This is a Hopkins offense with slick passers, really skilled. The question mark for them will be, who are their primary dodgers? Well, Jake Angelus is one of those, and he demands the pole.
Call goes against Jack Heed with the push. So not only does Hopkins take the early lead, they get the first man-up opportunity of the day. And their man-up offense, where they struggled in so many different areas last year, they were very good man-up and led by Joey Epstein. He's outstanding in terms of being able to find his shot, getting some room and space with the man-up.
This should be a really good unit. Extra man is 6 offensive players against 5 on D plus a goalie. Garrett Degnan, 40 in blue, top of the key, is a dangerous outside shooter. 32 on the wing. Joey Epstein loves the right-handed rip.
Yeah, that's Epstein's spot right there near Cameron, number 32. Now they find somebody inside, and Hopkins takes a 2-0 lead, this time with the man up, and it's Jack Keogh who buries it for the Blue Jays.
The band's back in mid-season form. Keeping it simple. You'll see the cut on the inside 4. Presents the visual target. Lacrosse is a visual game. When you want to receive that ball, flash your stick, open your mouth, and a little one-touch by Keogh. Graduate student out of Manhasset, Long Island, been banged up throughout his career. If he can stay healthy, can be a major producer.
Cap winning the draw, first possession now for Jacksonville of the day.
I like Cap, 13 and Green in this matchup, Chris. I think he can be an equalizer for Jacksonville.
Let's remember that Naruski, who was a starting faceoff man for Hopkins last year, and a good one at that, had off-season surgery. Coach Millman says he's on target, but it's going to be a little while before we see him. Jacksonville, good ball movement, now loose in front. Picked up by Brandon Shore. Millman had a lot of good things to say about him. Former long stick defender who has really settled into that role on that rope unit well. Number 34 for Hopkins.
One and done defensive possessions. Coach Millman talking to us about that being a defensive goal. No second chances. You make the stop, you put the ball on the carpet, let's clean it up and clear it effectively.
Now substitution patterns being executed by Millman. You see Casey McDermott, part of that second midfield unit. Here's Brendan Grimes. Gets his left hand free, and a good save by Milliken. Luke Milliken, first time we've mentioned his name. The transfer from North Carolina, getting the starting goal for Jacksonville.
Dallas, Texas native, got a lot of poise. Good demeanor, he's really calm. It's a guy who started back in 2018 as a freshman in Chapel Hill.
Turnover, though, for Jacksonville. They've yet to get a shot on goal. Now they get a turnover back. And let's see what Gordon Ogden can do with the ball as he gets dumped. Now it's on the carpet. Loose ball picked up by North Carolina, but we're going to get a push.
Probably worse than that.
Yeah, you're right, Q. Scott Smith gets called with the trip.
Yeah, Hopkins has been playing lacrosse here since the 1800s. It's 135th year, okay? This is the earliest game in school history. It's 28 degrees today. It's early February. This is not going to be a perfect game in terms of execution. It's going to be, you'll see mistakes, both schematic, individual, with stick work, and it's the team that can kind of get through that, to find a way to execute, that's going to be most successful.
Man up for a minute for this Jacksonville team. Shot in front, Kerson is there to make the save. Although Jacksonville retains possession. Still 36 seconds, man up. Shot, score. Max Waldbaum, the transfer from Tufts, who Coach Galloway couldn't stop gloating about, puts the Dolphins on the board. And Waldbaum, one of the team captains. Imagine that, Q. You transfer in from Tufts and you're automatically a team captain. 6'2", 230-pound graduate student.
This guy's going to be the face of the program this year. Nice little cut inside. Second chance opportunity for the extra man group. I thought Hopkins did a good job early on killing the penalty. I thought it was 6 and blue. Emmett Jennings coming down the backside making a play, but they couldn't control the loose ball. But Waldbaum, Kent Denver out of Colorado, D3 playoff experience playing for the Jumbos of Tufts, and he brings a size, an edge, an intensity, a competition level to this program. One of 10 transfers. Gonna really change the facelift to John Galloway's roster.
Yeah, he's got 2 years of eligibility left after the transfer, and you know there was a lot of competition for starting spots on this Dolphin team in the offseason. We had them last year. I've had them the last couple of years in games, and they look completely different this year than they did last year, even though they had a lot of kids coming back. That says a lot about the type of talent and the athletes that Coach Galloway bringing in. A lot of offseason competition for spots. Keogh got his left hand free and buries it past Milliken. Good shot on the run, Q, but is that one Milliken would like to have back?
Well, early season, the replay will tell us. Keogh down the alley, left-handed. Looks like a pretty good shot. There's no double team there. Keogh keeps this pretty simple. He'll go straight over the top as he's running out of angle. Offside hipper, though. That's a gorgeous location, Cotter. I got to tell you. Occasionally as a goalie, you just got to tip your cap to the guy. You know, you're taking away near side. You know that he's got that offside pipe to shoot for, and he nails the shot. You know, there are goals you give up. You're like, I should have had that. That was a shot he could have had. There's a big difference between should and could when it comes to goaltending. Yeah, perfect placement. Cat, meanwhile, wins the draw. That's something he's going to have to do with regularity today. Your mindset as a goaltender is, I can make every save. The reality is sometimes you can't, and you just got to move on and get over with it. Jeremy Winston, one of the team captains, number 14 out of Dallas. Over to Ibrahim Pio. Ebo, they call him, brings a lot of speed and quickness. Number 5 for Jacksonville. When he and 14 now with the ball in his cross are on the field, a lot of athleticism, former football players. Now Griner got his left hand free, tried to feed it inside. Big hits. That's Winston showing that former football versatility. Now he comes out of there with the loose ball, puts it on the carpet, but it's back with Jacksonville. See if they give him the reset of the shot clock. They do not. Take a look at that hit from Winston. Big hit, but on the right you see the turnover, and this is something you cannot do. You cannot give offensive possessions away if you're Jacksonville in this game and you're trying to win against a Big Ten opponent on the road. Lacrosse is a physical sport, okay? It's one of the elements of this game that is so appealing to youngsters. It's not a violent game in terms of the hitting, but more closely related to hockey in terms of hitting with your hips and your shoulders. It's done a nice job of mandating and refereeing through high hits to the head and neck area. Nice check defensively. That was Heed. Ball's on the carpet, and Jacksonville can't pick it up, though, so it'll go back to Hopkins. As we near the midway point of this first quarter, possession has definitely been in the favor of Hopkins. Field tilted toward this way. That's going to be a huge shot and a goal by McDermott. A lot of room and space, and he was able to fire and beat Milliken 4-1 Hopkins. Casey McDermott, Brendan Grimes, and Jonathan Peshko, now sophomores. They offered a glimpse into the future late last season when the 3 freshmen got significant playing time in the Big Ten tournament and had success. Grimes, the big lefty. McDermott, a little bit more balanced in his game. Good shake and bake sophomore from Rochester. He's got excellent feet. Now will Hopkins look to move quickly after the Dunn win on the draw. Brett Martin, number 12. D-Mitty still on the field. Will he look to sub out? Here comes Keogh. Now Martin checking back. Blue Jays shooting now 4 of 5 on target. Angeles has a goal already in this 26. Game. Yeah. That's Hedinger, 26. Pushing the back. No call on that one. Now we get it. Yeah, we got it. Another flag with possession. Tell you, Hedinger and 45, Zach Deacon, 2 of the better short sticks we will see nationally this season. You see Deacon take the field. He's part of this penalty killing unit for John Galloway in Jacksonville. Here's the call. He'll just ride up his back. I mean, that's a clear push from behind. It's extending the arms, contact from the rear. Is there an embellishment there? Maybe a little, but man, a guy hits you from behind like that, you're incentivized to fall down on your face.
Okay, now you're man up. And this is a good man up unit, as we talked about earlier. They already have a goal. Keogh scored that man up goal, flashed open. Now he's behind the cage. He'll look up top. Saved by Milliken.
Nice rebound control from Colin Hinton. 6 in green. Dolphins' top defender.
Transfer from Maryland. Dolphins looking to score quickly. Good ball, baby! Goal. That looked like Greiner on the backside. It was. Jacob Greiner. SoCon All-Freshman last year. They expect big things out of him in his sophomore campaign. Makes it 4-2 now. Hopkins on top.
This goal is lit. It starts with Milliken in the save. They get the rebound and keep that ball matriculating up the field. Tic-tac-toe, turn and rake. The Dolphins down by 2.
Old Spice College Lacrosse is brought to you by Old Spice. Smell ready for anything.
Back at home with Jacksonville, cutting into that disadvantage, now trailing Hopkins by a 4-2 score. And it's a Jacksonville team, Q, we've seen over the last few years because they always play a bunch of teams from the Big Ten and the ACC, so we get an opportunity to see what John Galloway is building. And you know, I tried to get one of those trailer, double wide stories from him when he first got to Jacksonville, but they didn't even have a double wide. The coaches' offices were in dorm rooms, and they had to build lockers. The staff actually had to build lockers for the team when he first got there.
John Galloway in his 6th season. As a program, they're 13 years. They play in the SoCon. I love everything about this program. 19 states in Canada represented. It's a small school, obviously, in Jacksonville. And they've capitalized on the tremendous growth of high school lacrosse down south. In Florida now, there's over 200 high school programs. That number triples every 10 years. The Carolinas, North and South Carolina, booming. Places like Birmingham, Alabama, Nashville, Tennessee. Jacksonville is poised to capitalize on that. The tough thing for them, Cotter, right now, they compete in the SoCon. And they're looking up at High Point and Richmond, 2 programs like themselves that have made just quantum leaps.
Yeah, that conference has really gotten better, and Mercer's kind of in the same category as Jacksonville was probably a couple of years ago. Getting better athletes, not quite up to the caliber of the Dolphins, and certainly not High Point and Richmond, but that conference top to bottom seems to be improving and becoming more and more competitive year in and year out. Jacksonville was able to kill off the remainder of that man down situation as they got that goal man down, and now back on the offensive end. Up top to Reed Smith. Now here's Greiner. Uses a pick, and his teammate got flat.
Using a pick, that should be a penalty on the defender. You can't run through a pick like that.
It was not.
Turn and see it and aggressively run through it.
Here's Jack Dolan. First team all SoCon. Oh, weaves his way nicely. Hits the pipe, and they got the ball back, though. Jacksonville looking to capitalize quickly, now just resetting. Shot clock resets to 60. New rule this year. Remember last year it's an 80-second shot clock. It would reset to 80 once the offense got the ball back after a piper. Now it's resetting to 60. Greiner again. Back to the middle of the field. Back to Dolan. He'll fire with his left. Again off the pipe. Stays with Jacksonville. Greiner here on this near side. He and Dolan working a little bit of a 2-man game over here on the wing. Greiner uses a pick and scores.
That was an awesome possession by Jacksonville. Relentless pressure, multiple chances. everybody pulling on the rope. They stayed together and they execute the pick behind the goal. They've got a midi caught on defense, 40 in blue. Watch the pick. Just communication breakdown. One guy wanted to switch, one guy wanted to stay. You celebrate on the sideline. Pick defense is huge nowadays. College lacrosse looking more and more like basketball every second.
Dunn coming out of there with the ball. Griner has scored a couple of goals now in the last 2 minutes and 12 seconds to just dig into this lead for Hopkins. Now just one goal, 4:45 left to go in this first quarter.
The thing there defensively, we may misplay the pick behind the goal, but who's hot? Who's ready to support that two-man game? Who's on the inside getting ready to slide to that ball carrier? And then who's behind that going to rotate down in the crease? So it's more than just the two guys playing the two-man game that messed that one up.
DeSimone, haven't said his name much so far today. He loses his balance. Finns come out there with it. Milliken, he loses his footing, now gets it back.
Nice
constant pressure by Peshko.
That was a good
down
play by
the late
Milliken.
call against Hopkins. Yeah, we talk about, Coach talked about his poise on the clearing game. We saw it there, under a lot of pressure. Shot, wide. Let's get the call now.
Well, Jacksonville's found their mojo, haven't they, Chris? Much more comfortable now on both ends. The offense is flowing, defense is chattering.
We got blue, 51, 1 minute slash, 51, 1 minute slash.
Kevin Forrester with the call, slashing. Milliken's under duress here, and what he does, he keeps his feet moving, doesn't panic when he falls down. His teammates finally work back to him. Okay, when your goaltender is in duress, let me tell you, man, please come back. Please come back to me and make it a shorter pass. I'm running for my life there. Now look at Milliken. Dallas, Texas. He's done some work with Jake Stove, former Loyola goalie, now in the Premier Lacrosse League. Those two trained together. Finally getting his opportunity. It's been a long time between starts for Milliken, who started back in 18 at Carolina.
Jacksonville 1 for 1 on the man up so far today. Peshko's going to take a knee in the box for a minute for Hopkins. This is Griner, number 28, near side with the ball in his cross there. Very effective so far today. Jacksonville being patient. That's Bobo Hunter, 51. Near side goal line extended. Griner down to Bo Hunter.
Next side, next side.
Final seconds of this man up. Griner tried to make something happen quickly, and he loses the ball.
Nice defense by the Jays. Jacksonville just probing on the outside. Didn't attack in a serious way. And the Jays just kind of held their integrity, held their good shape, covered up inside out. Well done by the D, coached by Jamison Kesterer.
You can see Garrett Degnan. Gone are the days when Cole Williams would be a towering presence for Hopkins, but Degnan and Grimes both 6'4". Big targets. Chauvet loses it. Now we get another ground ball. Out of bounds. It'll stay with Hopkins. Hopkins being a little sloppy during this run here by Jacksonville. Hopkins is a little sloppy with the ball, don't you think, Q?
Yeah, they've gotten away. Well, making the simple play sometimes in February is not always easy. Blue Jays scrimmaged at Denver last week, a 14-13 loss.
Epstein.
That's not their game, though. Okay, we've seen Dodgers now in the last two possessions go to the goal and be mauled and overwhelmed by Jacksonville defenders. The biggest area of weakness I see for Johns Hopkins is who are the quality Dodgers that can beat their man and score an unassisted goal. And from that, I believe this team will be a great passing team. But it starts with penetration.
DeSimone now has his defender hung up, directing traffic, trying to find a cutter. Angeles was moving, couldn't get open though.
Clock.
Yeah, shot clock violation before the ball went out of bounds. Another good defensive possession for Jacksonville.
Big win, as you see Peter Milliman jotting down some notes. Now for Jacksonville, focus on the clear and then finishing the quarter.
And they didn't
on a good offensive possession. That's a killer, man. That's a killer. So the transitional moments in games, whether it's a change of possession, whether it's a referee's call, anytime a situation changes from, let's say, a man up to even, like those are the moments in February that teams typically struggle with, Chris. Those transitional moments in a lacrosse game, the restarts.
Yeah, now with a minute left to go in this first quarter, Hopkins now can play for a final shot.
Yeah, off that restart, Jacksonville did a great job defensively, but it was almost as if they fled the field. Like they all ran to the substitution box. The ball's going to be a quick restart in play. If you're a midfielder, work back to the ball, stay relative. Don't move on to the next play so fast. You kind of got to flow with those moments and win those restarts with your mind.
Here's Zach Deacon, 45 for Jacksonville. Their best short stick D-Mitty on Jack Keogh. As Keogh just burns a little bit of clock, now he'll look to come upfield.
They're in the switch. Epstein wants it because he earned the switch. Now you're Jacksonville, you're going to have to double team here quickly.
Deacon does a nice job at checking the ball away from Epstein.
Deacon's a beast, man. He 45, one of the best in the business. How about that? Dean up against Joey Epstein. Not happening today. There he is. One of the honchos.
Yeah. Two-way player on this Jacksonville team. Hopkins got out to a 4-1 lead here at home in their opener, but Jacksonville says, yeah, we might be from the warm weather states, and it's 29 degrees.
PlayStation.
Johns Hopkins with a 1-goal lead over Jacksonville after one. Last night, Duke got underway, and they got out to a big lead early at home and then beat Romo 21-12 in the end. Look at Brennan O'Neill, 6 goals, and Dyson Williams back on that attack line with him, and Robertson put in 4 himself.
I enjoyed watching that game last night. Jay Alter and Kark on the call, and Brennan O'Neill, as advertised. I think Paul spent some time with Brennan during the offseason. This guy's put on good weight. He's a monster. He's going to be unstoppable. But nobody in the country has the respect for Dyson Williams that me and you do, Chris, dating back to a game in, 2020 before the season was canceled?
Yeah, we had him a couple of times. He exploded against Air Force and I think Richmond at home, and he was poised to have a ridiculous year. Then you get the COVID cancellation of that season, and then Sowers comes into town last year, and Dyson is a midfielder. Now he's back at that attack line, and that line is going to be unbelievable this year for Coach Danowski.
Duke plays Vermont on Sunday, and you can see him in action again next week against Manhattan, I believe, on
That's
Friday,
right.
Friday the 11th.
Yeah, we got a doubleheader on Friday. Got Richmond and North Carolina. That should be a good one next Friday, too.
Smell a little upset there, by the way.
I know you do. That's a great pass.
Man, Jacksonville
shot on
settled
goal by
down.
Bullhunter. Yeah.
If you're John Galloway, what he's been stressing, they have a great podcast, by the way, on Jacksonville's lacrosse website. It's a weekly thing, and John talks, but he was most concerned with execution. Okay, there's emotion. You can't let emotion be greater than execution. And I think after a rough first 4 minutes, you're starting to see what this Jacksonville team can be. They're playing a strong brand of lacrosse right now. Good skills, good communication, a couple clearing errors, but they're winning this game off the ground. 10-4 advantage in ground balls.
Double team comes on Tyler Corpora. Dolan just trying to physically muscle his way into some open space. Now goes with his left. And Kirsten is there to make the stop. Jacksonville gets the rebound, no. Fresh shot clock.
Is that a save or a pipe? Either way, it was good coverage by Kirsten as you look at his numbers. He struggled last year. I mean, those numbers are historically bad. Less than 40%. To his defense, Hopkins' defense was atrocious. for the first, I don't know, 10 games when they went 2-8 against the Big Ten competition. I don't care who you put in there. Larry Quinn, Sal Licasio, Brian Holman, you name them. Doc Matthews. They've all been hung out to dry. Brian Carcaterra been lucky to make 23% saves.
Dolan fires it over the top of the goal. Also wasn't 100% healthy either. Thinks, Coach Millman thinks Kirsten's as healthy as he's been. It was a good goalie competition, too. They got Gip Versfeld, who transferred in from Amherst, and it was still Kirsten's job after all was said and done, at least for now.
Yeah, Tim Marcial started the last 4 games, as Jacksonville's got a little shot clock issue to deal with here. Marcial was good in the last 4 games. He was 47%, but the defense improved dramatically.
Jacksonville's going to have to take a shot, and it gets by Kirsten. And he's kicking himself for that one, but we're all even at 4.
Well, he should. He should be kicking himself. And this is where you learn about a goaltender's resolve and his mental toughness. We all make mistakes. When an attackman makes a mistake, he misses the goal with a shot. When the defender makes a mistake, he might get beat and there's a double team. When a goalie makes a mistake like this, it's right there out for everybody to see. And that's why the goaltending position is so difficult. The mental challenges of now, Josh has got to forget about that and move on to the next one like it never happened.
Right. And Jacksonville has scored 3 straight goals. Hopkins now almost 9 minutes on the clock without a goal. Possession back to the Dolphins. Deacon with the ball in his cross. Now Winston.
It takes a different mindset to play the goaltending position because you're putting yourself out there on an island. Success and failure, it's very clear. It's right there for everybody to see. Difficult to be a parent of that athlete as well.
You live and die with each shot, each goal given up. Ebo couldn't get it to Winston. Bulls will track it down, though.
Dolphins winning the hustle plays.
Waldbaum already has 2 goals to transfer. Big kid, look at that guy. 17 for Jacksonville.
Yeah, and Ebo can run here. This ball carrier, be careful. He's got some shake.
Nice job by Jackson and Treary behind the goal. Zuluk, Bo Zuluk doing a nice job on him, extending him out. Ebo looking to show that quickness against a short stick. Tried the skip pass and it bounced off a defender. Now picked up by Hopkins. That's Jack Line, one of the 2 team captains, along with Epstein. Now can Hopkins put something together offensively? It's been a long time.
Important possession here. Okay, you go back to your bread and butter. I know it's early in the year. Let's see which unit they're rolling out. Keogh, a lot of experience.
Yep,
Degnan, the lefty shooter. And Angelos, 23, is going to be your primary dodger here.
Hedinger is on him.
Angelos in the preseason and in that scrimmage against Denver. There's some footage on Instagram of him breaking ankles in a big-time way in that Denver scrimmage. You got to be ready to double team right now if you're Jacksonville.
Yeah, 5 points. 5 points in that scrimmage, and it's very impressive. Here's Keogh. He was number 24 last year, switching jersey numbers to 4. "15 seconds to shoot for the Blue Jays.
Who can beat their man and draw a double team, or beat their man and score a goal?
Chauvette. He's a left-handed shooter. You can see that's where he wants to go. Now he's going to have to let one go as the shot clock gets down to 0, and it's not going to count. Shot clock violation against Hopkins.
That was great defense by Jacksonville. Everybody held up their matchups. Their spacing was good away from the ball. Hopkins never probed aggressively to even draw a double team, did they, Chris?
No, too much on the outside. Patience, yes, and that's what Millman preaches offensively. Q, that's a good point, though, is that he wants you to make that extra pass, work for the best shot, but at some point in time, you've got to attack the net.
Exactly.
Do you not?
Someone from Hopkins has got to demand a double team. Well, the SoCon upsetter from Jacksonville right now, lurking here, almost halfway through the second quarter.
seconds.
We've seen this before, haven't we, Chris? This Jacksonville team years ago almost took Ohio State. They lost in overtime. We've seen High Point knock down the Titans in the ACC. We've seen Richmond out of the SoCon pull off massive upsets. What you're looking at right now is the manifestation of potentially the biggest win in Jacksonville lacrosse history. They're on their way
against Hopkins means man up again for Jacksonville. 1 for 2 man up so far in this game. They've wrested the momentum away from Hopkins, and a goal here would put it squarely on the backs of the Dolphins. Hedinger, he's a honcho, means he's an offensive and defensive midfielder, although he threw that one away, and that's going to be it for this offensive possession.
Yeah, early year extra man is never as crisp and as sharp as you think. It just takes a while for those players to develop chemistry and continuity. And
7 turnover of the day for Jacksonville. Hopkins clears. Have to have it across that midfield line at the 60-second mark of the shot clock. So 20 seconds in. Getting a timeout on the field. 8:35 left to go in this second quarter. Good battle today at Homewood. Hopkins 4, Jacksonville 4 early on.
The land is dying, and the machines are out of control. Whatever comes, I will be ready.
PlayStation.
Welcome back to Old Spice College Lacrosse. Johns Hopkins in Jacksonville. See the folks at Homewood braving the 29-degree temperatures and the wind today. And Coach Milliman picked to finish 3rd in the coaches poll preseason in the Big Ten. And Maryland clearly the top team. Q Rutgers is having to incorporate a lot of new faces there, but a lot of talent with the Scarlet Knights. And then you have everybody else kind of battling for that 3rd spot. Would you agree?
Yeah, and I think those teams are going to be vastly improved this season. I didn't think the Big Ten had a strong year last year. I mean, Maryland obviously could have won the national title, losing on Memorial Day. Rutgers had a magical season. Outside of that, quite honestly, I thought the defense in the Big Ten last year was awful, atrocious. Now, the league changes this year. Michigan, much better. They look great in a scrimmage against Syracuse. Penn State's young and improving. Ohio State will be better. Johns Hopkins could be better. Rutgers reloads with the transfer portal. So I think across the landscape of the Big Ten, I expect a stronger season. I expect better defense. And I expect Maryland to be on top.
Interference, 30 seconds.
An interference call here against Jacksonville. That's going to go against Colin Hidden. So it looked like it was going to be a turnover, another turnover, and a little bit of a reprieve for the Blue Jays as before that ball was thrown away, you had the interference call, and they'll be up for 30 seconds. Let's see what Degnan and company can do. Keogh now with the ball. Degnan got a little bit of space, opted not to take the outside shot. Now in the middle, score! Peshko got dropped for his troubles, but he was able to give the lead right back to Hopkins.
Peshko in the slot, assisted by Keogh. If you're Pete Milliman, there's a lot of truth serum here in the way you set things up on your extra man. You're telling us that Keogh 4 is going to be one of your best passers by his alignment. We know Peshko, the sophomore, he can rip it. Ontario and the Salisbury School had a great freshman season late last year, put up 9 goals in the last 9 games of the season, shooting 40%. He's built for tough as well. Down on the inside, he's willing to take a pounding. So that's a unit that should click, Chris. I like the parts. I like the skill set.
Logan Callahan, the freshman, getting the draw for Hopkins, and he wins it. Blue Jays looking to go early.
That was nice. That little flurry there. Was that Martin with that ground ball off the wing? That was superb.
Right. And they got it to Epstein, who's the man you want to take that shot from the wing.
I'll tell you, Martin, 12 and blue. That was something else. Haven't seen that kind of speed from the wings since Milford Marchant.
And the most important thing is they retain possession now for the full offense here. 40 seconds still to shoot. DeSimone from X.
DeSimone can dodge back there. I think he's better as a dodger off of ball movement. He's not the type of attackman who's going to back up to the end line and say, okay, let's go, let's go. That's not his game.
Angeles with a head of steam, now back behind the cage. Upfield, DeSimone shoots wide. Possession retained, 12 to shoot.
It's a nice move, good speed.
Epstein utilizes his speed, doesn't have a good angle though. Chauvette, too high, just 5 to shoot now for Hopkins.
Okay, defend the shot clock now if you're Jacksonville. You understand that they're going to probably force feed this inside.
They do, they'll get a good look. And Milliken was there, though, to force the shot clock violation.
But clock and score awareness is everybody. That's everybody's responsibility, Chris. Whether you're the offense and you know there's 5 left on the shot clock, or whether you're the defense and you're the off-ball guy or you're playing in the slot defensively. It's the goalie's responsibility to echo that out. Hey, late in the shot clock, be ready inside.
A bad clear right here. Is it going to end up in a turnover? Battle for the loose ball in the middle of the field.
Sticks flying. Look at that.
Flying everywhere. Winston ends up with the ball. That just came out of nowhere. Waldbaum. Now the triple team comes, though. He got himself a little bit of extra space, just couldn't pull the trigger.
John Galloway on the sideline was about to pull the trigger on a timeout because Waldbaum was rambling his way to pay dirt.
Look at this stick.
How's
Where's
this
it coming
stick
from?
fly here, left to right, across the screen? Look at that.
Just got flipped up by the defender. And this ends up being a goal. Is that Waldbaum who buries it? It is.
Oh, feed the big boy. Feed him. Look at him rubbing his belly after this goal.
Already the hat for Waldbaum.
Body, he loves the matchup. Turns the corner, strong right-handed tendencies. Look at him rambling. Watch him rub the belly. Rub that belly, big man. Rub that belly.
Team captain, brings so much competitiveness, IQ, got a couple of years left. Coach Galloway says he practices with an intensity every single day, and his teammates feed off of that. Came from Kent, Denver, where he played his high school lacrosse. That's a lacrosse powerhouse there in Denver. Here he is again.
Competitive spirit is a trait. If you're a high school player, middle school player, you want to get recruited, you're playing for your club team or your high school, man, that competitive spirit is a trait that every single recruiter is looking forward to. And that's not a Saturday thing at noon on ESPNU. That's an everyday thing.
Here's Winston. Unsure. That one didn't get through.
Not a great shot. Not a great shot.
And it'll go back to Hopkins. Good hustle to get the ball before it goes across the end line, or as it does by Zulu. There's
Good
Winston.
idea by Jeremy. Just keep coming. Take that extra step to greatness. Give yourself a little more angle. Clock.
Got to get 2 seconds to get it across, and they have to force it. And it's going to be a turnover.
Nice handle by
Milliken's
Milliken.
turn.
Good handle.
Winston got good wheels. He'll look to go to the cage. Gets knocked off his feet.
Is that Colwell?
Clean
Is that
hit.
31? Nice angle play. Excuse me, it was
Ball's all
McManus.
over the field, though.
Owen McManus making that play.
Yeah.
Love the angle play there, Chris. He read that his man was, that Winston had an edge in the dodge. Took a great double team angle.
Take a look at that hit again from McManus. Got timeout on the field.
McManus, 6'3", 210 out of Friends School up the street here. Maybe he gotten away with a cross check, but good posture. Tell you, Owen's a superb athlete.
There's a good look at McManus. That D line of McManus, Zulik, and Line.
I like their close D this year. Obviously the league doesn't have a Jared Bernhardt or a Mac O'Keefe or a Adam Shearer-Lambetes to deal with this year, which is kind of nice. But I think this Hopkins close defense will be better, and I think their short sticks will be better. Hunter Juronski not playing today with an injury. I think Brett Martin's an upgrade. Jake Lilly now is getting really strong at the position. Brandon Shore comes back for grad school. He offers some depth there. So they're deeper. Close defense, more experience, great size. I mean, you go 6'2", 6'3", 6'4" across the board.
Loves to play a Scott Smith, too. You talk about their LSMs. You know, you get Scott Smith, sophomore out of Berwyn, PA, played at Conestoga. And then Emmett Jennings transfers over from Providence. And, you know, he was a 3-year starter at Providence, so a lot of experience.
Yeah, and you got Jared Fernandez kind of waiting in the wings, had the ACL injury. This is a Syracuse transfer at the long pole position. He's got an injury, you know, a retweaking of an injury that he's, from what Coach said, what, a couple weeks away maybe?
Yeah, just doesn't want to take a chance.
Of coming back. And, you know, Hopkins has got a brutal non-conference schedule in February and March before the Big Ten regular slate.
It's as tough as I've ever seen.
They're not backing down from anything. This is a gauntlet unlike anything. Towson, Georgetown, Loyola, Carolina, Virginia, Syracuse, Navy, Delaware.
Look at that. And even their you know, and I put it in quotes, their easier games are against teams like Jacksonville today, Towson, Navy. Those are their unranked opponents. And then you got to go in the Big Ten.
You got to get to 500 to be eligible for the NCAA tournament if you don't win your league AQ. So this game for Johns Hopkins is vitally important on February, what is today, the 5th?
It's early. Dolan. Check by Martin.
Now get something here. You got numbers. You got a 5-on-4. Get something. Nice recovery by Jacksonville. I thought they might have had the trailer there, Chris.
Right.
The throwback to the trailer.
Instead, Martin does the smart thing and backs it out. Didn't have anything initially. They'll take full advantage now of getting their offensive players on the field, like Degnan. As
There's
Deacon
benefits
comes on.
in attacking in lacrosse, obviously in transition. But I love the teams that focus on attacking in the first 10 or 15 seconds. So right off that transition, when Jacksonville got back and matched up, you had some matchup advantages offensively. They had offensive personnel caught on the field. Would have been a good time for somebody to take it to the rack.
Angeles back to his right. Chauvette. Injured all of last year. Now on that starting attack line, here's Angeles. Got free a bit. Chauvette likes to use his left and does. Wide.
Piece or wide?
I think maybe got a piece. Milliken may have gotten a little bit of a piece to steer it wide. Didn't get that one.
That's D. Simone showing a burst of speed off the restart on the end line. Using the pick to create a little confusion and a subtle advantage. He just beats his man top side. He's able to free up his hands. Important goal at an important juncture in this game.
If you're just joining us, Hopkins broke out to a 4-1 lead in this game at home. Looked very comfortable. Jacksonville looked a little discombobulated. Then Jacksonville went on a run, and it's been back and forth ever since. We'll get a loose ball push here. Hopkins with possession. Millman going with Grimes now, number 9 in that midfield unit. Let's see who joins him. That's got to be Angeles, 23. He can dodge, and he's got a short stick on him, even though it's Hettinger, one of the better ones on this Jacksonville team. Now Hinton comes to cover him. Nice passing inside. Wow.
What a save by Milliken. That was a gorgeous play. Great passing by Hopkins. Epstein stuffed on the layup.
Bad pass, low. Can
Big
Hopkins
loose ball
retain?
right now. Big play right here.
Ogden chasing after it for Jacksonville. He gets it, tries to slide it to a teammate. Who's going to win the loose ball battle in the middle of the field? It's Hopkins. Keogh.
Understand your shot clock if you're Johns Hopkins right now. You got 30, plenty of time. Watch this great passing, backside feed, head and shoulder fake by Epstein. Milliken not buying it.
18 to shoot. 41 seconds left in the first half. DeSimone shoots. Milliken got a piece of that one too. Epstein wins the battle of the end line.
DeSimone looks good. He looks fast.
He looks good too. Luke Milliken making his first start for Jacksonville. Transferred in from North Carolina. Replacing an all-conference goalie, by the way, from last year, who's still on this team, but Milliken won the battle in the fall and in the spring, and he's standing on his head today, keeping this Jacksonville team to within 1 goal. You mentioned this earlier, Q. This is the makeup of this roster and what Coach Galloway has to do in terms of recruiting to build a winner here in Jacksonville.
Well, John Galloway is going to win the transfer portal. Okay, they got 10 transfer players coming in. What I love, those 19 states in Canada. Obviously, there's a strong Florida flair here, where the high school game is growing leaps and bounds. There's over 200 high school lacrosse programs in the state of Florida right now. That's tripled in the last decade. You've also got strong D2 college programs in the state, and I think you combine that with North Carolina and the growth in South Carolina, and Jacksonville is uniquely positioned. Their facility is first class. The Lac Center. They've done it all really except win the SoCon. They made the finals a couple times. They've come within a goal of making the NCAA tournament. Love their leadership. John Galloway, President Tim Cost, who's a West Jenny baseball playing alum, but he understands the sport, and you got a young coach here, and I think everything's going in the right direction for Coach Galloway. As I said, I got tons of respect for Richmond and High Point, and that's really the only thing that's standing in Jacksonville's way. They're in a league with 2 extremely strong opponents to get the AQ.
John Galloway just retiring from professional lacrosse from the PLL. So
one of the best ever.
Yeah, one of the best ever. Now he can, instead of playing in the offseason, now he can focus on building this team into a real winner, winning the SoCon. And he says
Galloway is a goalie. I think he's got the more wins than any goalie in the sport's history. Syracuse, obviously. 2 titles. Team USA, pro. Outlet passes, sublime, like I've never seen.
Trying to get it to Degnan in the middle. That's going to go out of bounds to Jacksonville, so they've got 8 seconds to make something happen here.
There's plenty of time to make a final push now. Crash the goal a bit here.
Hopkins put pressure on the ball, making that pass difficult. Winston eventually got it, but he's only got 2 seconds, and he just has to fire it. And Curson is there to make the save to end this first half. Hopkins was up 4-1. Luke Milliken, though, doing his part to keep Jacksonville in it. And they took momentum in that second quarter and closed the gap. Hopkins was able to get that goal, the last goal of this game so far, to get that 1-goal lead. But Q, this is a spirited affair between these two teams. Still everything to play for in the second half.
Hopkins shows up ready to go in the first 5 minutes, and they jump out to that little lead. Jacksonville then controls the ground balls, and the effort plays DeSimone maybe a little too much. Both teams dealing with the cold temps today. This is a good one, man. This is the new reality in college lacrosse, Chris.
You
the
mentioned
Blue Bloods ain't what
Angeles.
they used to be.
No.
And the little guys are capable on any given Saturday.
A lot of hits, a lot of goals, good goaltending, a little bit of everything today here early on in February. We're at the half, 6-5, Hopkins on top.
Everything from eyes rolled in the back of the head, foaming at the mouth. One occasion I even witnessed a levitation.
Sweetie, time for dinner.
Okay.
The streaming home of paranormal, plus so much more. Discovery Plus. Stream for just $4.99.
Halftime here at Homewood between Johns Hopkins and Jacksonville. First opening weekend for lacrosse for many teams around the country. So Q and I are going to look at some of the players to watch for this year. And many names will be very familiar to you. Chris Gray at North Carolina, Q, back once again. And he's going to have to carry a heavier load offensively, isn't he?
Yeah, if you're a young player, Chris Gray is a guy you want to watch because his skill set runneth over. He can do a little bit of everything, whether it's dodging, passing, shooting. And this year, as Carolina loses their first midfield to graduation, I think puts more pressure. I think it puts more emphasis on the playmaking skills of Chris Gray at Carolina.
And Chris Gray, of course, so good without the ball in his cross. Connor Schellenberger, he really came into his own last year, Q, especially in the postseason, didn't he?
Mr. May for Virginia, leading them to a national title. Unstoppable in the NCAA tournament in terms of playmaking, dodging, finishing. Gosh, he was shooting the ball so well in the tournament. With he and Matt Moore as a two-headed quarterback monster, Virginia's got to be the clear-cut favorite.
You know, speaking of coming into his own, you know, Pat Cavanaugh came into the year last year at the beginning of the year. A lot of question marks around him. You know, his size and how would he be able to adapt to playing in the ACC, and well, he exploded, didn't he?
Notre Dame's offense is loaded, stacked, and jacked. He'll be joined by his brother, who'll be a freshman. They'll wear 51 and 50. These guys play like hockey players. They get to the gritty areas. They have fun. Look at the intensity, the emotion, and the passion.
Yeah, Chris Cavanaugh there in Notre Dame with him. Sam Hanley, he hasn't played in forever. Massive frame for Penn.
Mammoth midfielder from Oregon, who back in 2019 as a freshman put up numbers that no midfielder in the history of Division I lacrosse, guys like Gary Gate, haven't even come close to eclipsing those numbers. Was banged up in 2020, he's back now in 22.
Still a Kirst at Rutgers. Colin Kirst comes back in goal for the Scarlet Knights.
For my money, Chris, the best stopper and best goaltender in the nation by far. Athletic ability, pipe-to-pipe movement, balance, focus, big saves at critical moments, nearly getting Rutgers into championship weekend. I love his outlets as well.
And he is going to be a part of an improving defense there at Rutgers with a lot of new faces.
America's been thunderstruck by the all-new 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander. With a sleek exterior and premium interior, get high style without the high price during the spring sales event. Get thunderstruck.
Cotter and Q back with you. Hopkins with a 1-goal lead at Homewood. Let's check out some of the games we got coming up next weekend. Doubleheader on Friday afternoon. Manhattan at Duke. And if you didn't get a chance to see Duke last night, you can see them on Friday. And then Richmond and North Carolina. Q, you're calling that game.
I got the Spiders at the heels on a game on the ACC Network next Friday at 5 o'clock, and it's happy hour lacrosse. That's an incredible matchup. I think the Spiders can pull off the upset, quite honestly.
Yeah, fun day on Saturday, and don't forget as well the next day, rather, Holy Cross in Syracuse. So we'll get a chance to see Gary Gate, Coach Petramala, and that new-look Syracuse Orange team. Second half on the way from Homewood. Don't go anywhere.
I look real good today. 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 Jumping up the Bentley, rolling in a gas and new Balenci's. Walking with a pocket full of Benjis. I'm a 10-piece. I look real good today. I look real good today.
Welcome back to Old Spice College Lacrosse here on ESPN as we kick off the 2022 season. Across all the ESPN networks, we got Hopkins and Jacksonville today at the half. It's a 1-goal lead for the Blue Jays. Highlights of this first half, and really, you know, Hopkins got out to a 4-1 lead here early. It was Jack Keogh, midfielder, who got it going. Chris Cotter and Quinn Kesnick with you. Mentioned how they got this 4-1 lead, Q, and it was Keogh who got him started. But really, it was Jacksonville, too, who kind of took the game to them in the second quarter, got all the momentum before Hopkins got that last goal in that first half for the lead. But it's anybody's game in the second half.
Yeah, I thought the key in the game, well, Hopkins showed up ready to play. Jacksonville kind of played themselves into this game. Jacksonville dominated ground ball play after the first 5 or so minutes, and that led to some good looks. You see the Jays took the early lead. Keogh off to a strong start this season. Jack Keogh, the graduate student from Manhasset, Long Island, who's been so often injured. You see him getting downhill left-handed and scoring an unassisted goal, and I think that'll be a barometer for this Blue Jay offense. They have great passers, they have good shooters. Who can dodge?
Max Waldbaum, the transfer from Tufts, captain of this Jacksonville team. He has a hat trick in this first half, so obviously he's gotten assimilated very well offensively for the Dolphins.
Yeah, you know, Hopkins started off shooting the ball well, then they cooled, and then Waldbaum for Jacksonville. He's out of Tufts, okay, the Jumbos. Very experienced in terms of playing in big games, NCAA D3 playoffs. He's out of Denver, and look at the way he uses his body and his frame to roll his way to the inside, to pay dirt. Playing with an edge, playing with intensity. This Jacksonville team had a nice little ground ball advantage that Hopkins kind of closed the gap in the last 4 minutes of the second quarter. And then you see the face-off wins. So the non-face-off ground balls were being controlled by Jacksonville.
Dunn and Callahan both sharing face-off responsibilities in that first half for Hopkins. Tyler Dunn taking most of the draws as he is here to start this second half. We'll get a violation, procedure call against Jacksonville, so Hopkins ball here in their first offensive possession. Up a goal here to start the second half. There's Keogh. You saw his 2 goals in the first half, number 4 with the ball. Jacob Angelis also had a good first half offensively for the Blue Jays. Keogh dodges to get his left free, shoots it wide.
Good look by Keogh. He's dead center of the goal, so he's got a lot of 6x6, a lot of real estate to shoot at. He pulls that one low offside. It was a good move, though.
Degnan.
Left-handed, well played by the defender, understanding that he wanted to roll back.
Shot wide by Grimes.
Looks like Hopkins playing a little more aggressively with the ball, Chris. They're going to the goal with a stronger, I'm going to score attitude.
How about this one here? Didn't get it past Milliken. Milliken played really well in goal for Jacksonville in that first half. He continues it here in the second. Fresh shot clock. Resets to 60 this year as opposed to 80 in previous years or last year. Now Epstein has his defender hung up, so he's looking for a cutter. Decides to take it himself in a bad angle shot, but it'll stay with Hopkins.
Jays now 2 of their last 16 shooting. Getting better pressure, though, in the early stages here this third quarter. They're getting some good looks.
DeSimone. DeSimone got wide open, shoots and scores.
Grad student out of Smithtown East. His straight line speed, Cotter, it's going to give some people some issues. Little hop step, he's off to the races. Again, using the pick well. Gorgeous shot. Straight over the top on the run. There's no double team. Cue the band.
Hopkins extends their lead to 2 goals. Coach Milliman giving instructions to his team. I thought it was interesting having our conversation with him earlier this week. QA asked him what was the biggest difference in the last 4 games last year when their play was clearly better, and he said a team meal. They were finally able to actually sit down and have a team meal together. That's what kind of a year it was last year as far as the pandemic goes for Hopkins.
Yeah, Coach Milliman, the demands of a first-year coach are to develop relationships, to meet your players, their families. Who are you coaching? The personal side of this business. And Hopkins, due to COVID and protocols, they just weren't a team. Didn't live in a locker room, couldn't spend time together. And so time was on their side. And that's another reason why they got better in late April and May last year.
Let's see how Jacksonville can respond. Dolan. Wallbaum. 3 goals in that first half. Now the double comes, 2 short sticks. Griner. A lot of heat on that shot, but couldn't find the target. Still 21 to shoot.
Who likes their matchup? Time to go is now with the shot clock.
Yeah, under 10, Wallbaum. And he doesn't realize it. Now he does, up top. Forces a pass. Shot couldn't get through. That'll be a shot clock violation. Good defensive stand by Hopkins.
Excellent start of this third quarter by the Blue Jays coming as you look at John Galloway, Jacksonville coach. But you score in your first possession with DeSimone, you get a big stop. And now you're riding.
Peshko coming out of there with it. Deacon on him.
Double team. How about that double team, Cotter? They're stalking him. Stay on it. Chase him down.
Zach Deacon, 45. We've seen that a couple of times today. One of the best short stick midfielders you'll see.
And 3, Jordan Young as well. LSM out of Pennsylvania.
Now Griner. Over to Winston. Jeremy Winston, one of the team captains since Jacksonville, team number 14, playing with a heavy heart today. Over to Ebo.
Winston's lost his dad, Dennis, a week and a half ago, a pastor in Dallas. Missed a lot of practice time. Our thoughts with the Winston family.
No question, Q. Several of his teammates went down to the services in Dallas to be with Jeremy, and Jeremy back here playing in this opener for the Jacksonville Dolphins. Finds a cutter open.
Oh, it was a great pass. Good physical defense by Hopkins, though, impacting that shot at the last second.
That was Marshall McGuire, too.
But you know, Chris, both you and I have dealt with the loss of a dad, and like the game is medicine for Jeremy to be able to play, to be around his friends. to get his mind off of that situation will benefit him this spring.
No question about that. Earning his MBA here with Jacksonville. Angeles Milliken goes down to stop it.
Nice rebound control, too, by Milliken. There you look at Jeremy Winston, two-sport athlete, Dallas, Texas, football, lacrosse, Parish Episcopal School. Jumped onto the scene here at Jacksonville. He had, you know, small school football offers, and he was John Galloway's first recruit. He's been a bedrock type player in this program. Getting his MBA now, named a team captain. I mean, it's everything that's great about college lacrosse.
Coach Galloway calls him the fire starter on this team. Gives his teammates a lift. Extra pass, a little bit high, but corralled in the goal.
At
Man,
some
you
next
get
level
Griner on his spot.
Yeah, this is really good sharing of the rock, good next level passing. The defense wasn't bad either, because the defense, you hear them rotate, rotate, rotate. Right here, you got to rotate. And you look at the defense on their carousel, but the ball movement just a little too fast. Set your feet, plant from 12, use the defender as a screen, and you work that ball to the offside stick post. Jacksonville within one. Nice team offense. You know, Griner had a hand injury in 2021, missed a ton of time, and scored 15 goals in the last 8 games, including 5 in the SoCon semis. He's known as a lefty spot shooter.
McDermott, full head of steam. Back to a 1-goal lead here for Hopkins.
And Grimes he's got a ton of potential. Okay, 6'4", 220 lefty out of Boys Latin, high school attackman, number 4 recruit in the country according to Inside Lacrosse. He's got to stop settling for so many maybe shots.
Peshko. Defender took the ball in and out of the crease.
Outside the crease and then in. Those are killers now. This is second chance possession. Defense is a little raggy and tired. You've got to communicate through fatigue.
And because it was a turnover, fresh 80 on the shot clock too. So Peshko and company, they've got all the time they need to set up for a good shot. There's one. Defender made a nice job. Deacon again coming back. Milliken is able to corral the loose ball. 45's all over the field in green.
Important clear here. You've just played an extended defensive possession.
Hedinger. He's one of the honchos, they call him. Two-way forward, two-way midfielders.
Now you got the clock.
Nice job of stabbing that ball out of the air. That was McDermott getting the ball back to his team. Now can Hopkins generate something early? Epstein says, let's hold on.
Effective ride by Hopkins. They bottle up the middle of the field. They don't give the easy out. I like that. You make a tired defense earn the clear.
And it ends up being a goal. By a defensive midfielder, Jake Lilly. That's a juice goal right there.
That's a huge juice goal. I love the way Lilly stays on after the broken clear and just follows the play in to sniff it out. Yeah, I can sub off, coach, but remember, I can play midfield too. Jake Lilly, the son of Clubber Lilly and Christy, both his parents played at Johns Hopkins.
What's important for me is it sexy? Is it sporty? The controls, the panels, I love the whole display area here. Very crisp, it's laid out nice. It looks hot. The back seat has a ton of room. Hello, 5'10", this is fantastic. I didn't realize this would have a 3rd row of seating. Ooh, the QX60, such a sporty, sexy car.
Hopkins by 2 in the third. Chris Cotter, Quint Kesnick with you. Q, I know that you were very close to a man by the name of Jerry Schneidman, who had been associated with this program for so many years. We lost him back in October.
Yeah, midfielder in the late 60s and Hall of Famer here at Johns Hopkins, Jerry Schneidman, face-off extraordinaire and two-way midi. And then he ended up working in admissions and then for the administration here in the president's office. For 50 years, Jerry Schneidman was one of those people. You know, Bob Scott used to say, Hopkins lacrosse, the excellence is about people. Well, Jerry Schneidman was one of those people as a player and then as an administrator. He was a bedrock person in this program. He used, when I played, he'd come out to practices on Wednesdays and tutor our face-off men. He always, for me, he addressed the personal side. You know, I lost my dad when I was in high school, and Jerry always said, "How's your mom? Saw him 2 years ago. How's your mom?" He'll be missed.
Yeah, very well said. 50 years with the Hopkins program.
And when you think about the Jays, Division I lacrosse only, so you need that administrative support. You need the academic support. It's got to be a holistic approach here. As lefty rip from Degnan. And Jerry was so instrumental and understood that. Nice little spurt, Chris. Nice little spurt by Hopkins. D. Simone, Lilly, and now Degnan. Keogh's been a little bit of a party starter from up top, direct center. Degnan flashes like he's going to set a pick and then peels, plants his feet left-handed. Man, wow. That's a scary look, Cotter. When this guy at 6'3" or 4" can plant his feet and extend his arms, turn and rake.
And with their wins at this face-off X, other than that one, momentum is clearly with Hopkins here in the third quarter, but can Jacksonville now do something offensively to get it back, down 3? Here's Griner. Winston on his horse, decides to back it out, wait for help. He's got it in Evo there, number 5.
Yeah, that next goal mentality, so important. You're a young player, always take the next goal. Just stop staring at the scoreboard. The next goal is what matters.
Winston uses a pick to get a shorty on him. Now help comes. Behind the cage to Wallbaum. That play was read beautifully by the Hopkins defense. Unfortunately, the clear goes awry, and it's a turnover back to Jacksonville. Winston back with it. And we'll start all over on the offensive end for the Dolphins.
You see the game trends. This game was tied at 6-5 at half.
Dolan. Good look.
Nice collapsing defense. It's good help. Shore, 34, 31. Taking arms, taking no chance that shooter's going to get that ball off when he feeds it inside. That is a free-for-all in there. Check arms and check them hard.
Nice job by Martin and Sure on the clear. Under 5 to play in this third quarter. Angeles. He is quick. Now trying to set a pick behind the cage. Here's Keogh. With the left, couldn't get a lot on it as that ball doesn't even get to the cage, but now, falling shot. There's a chance for Hopkins. But it ends up with Hettinger. Coach Galloway said it's going to be important for the honchos, the two-way middies, to generate offense and keep those offensive midfielders on the field for Hopkins, not allowing substitution patterns that we hadn't seen much in transition from Jacksonville.
That's a great point you make, Chris. This team, they want to score an early offense using the sub game. And the Blue Jays have done a good job matching up and not making any mistakes in that department.
Even pouring in a goal from one of their short stick D middies, and Jake Lilly, his first career goal. .28 to shoot. Kursan gets a piece of that one.
Good effort plays, both players diving for that end line.
Corpora just barely winning the race. Transfer from Hartford. They dropped their D1 program, so Tyler Corpora decides to come to Jacksonville. Graduate student. Turnover from Jacksonville. So nothing doing on that possession, with an opportunity now for Hopkins to extend their lead.
15 turnovers for the Dolphins.
Scott Smith still on the field, a long stick midi for Johns Hopkins. He'll run off. McDermott. Physical midfield for Hopkins. When you talk about guys like McDermott, Grimes, Degnan, Peshko, big dudes, strong. Here's Peshko. You can see his size as he tries to back in.
The quality of athlete playing D1 college lacrosse is skyrocketed.
McDermott, he uses his body to get a shot on goal, but Milliken is there.
Milliken's been really, really strong. I mean, Chris, you were a championship weekend. You were down on the field. You got to see it firsthand. Like when Virginia rolls out that defense, 6'6", 6'7", 6'4".
You really see it.
Even your boy Golick was in awe.
Winston stays with Jacksonville. You see it when guys are like running in and out of the box, because you see the speed, the power, the strength, the size of those athletes close up. It's impressive.
I wish we could take the fans closer to the physical aspects. You know, just how hard the checks are. When that ball's on the ground, just how ferocious it is. It's hard to translate that through the TV.
No question.
Through the computer screen.
Now Kursan comes out, leaves the net open. What a shot! And a goal by Waldbaum. Man, is he having a debut for Jacksonville?
Tufts transfer. 6'2", well above 2 bills. Kursan helps his defender out, and Waldbaum says, yeah, okay, that's fine, I'll pay the price. He gets buried, but the backhander over the defender with a sliver of an angle.
That's what that bench needs right there. Down by 3 goals, hadn't scored in forever, and Waldbaum, his 4th of the game, cuts that deficit to 2 goals. And you're right, McManus, who's been laying the lumber on a lot of people today, leveled him, but it's worth it when you find the back of the net. Now possession after the faceoff. Hinton looking to clear, gets it to Dolan.
Well done there, good face-off and clear.
Dolan sensed an opportunity, tried to force a pass inside. Griner picks it up though. Man, I thought he might want to fire from there to Winston, quick passing. Waldbaum feels it. Bounce shot. Ebo tried that little shovel shot. Now hustle, look at that hustle to the ball, and it's gonna go to Hopkins. All 4 players diving.
Clock and score now. Recognize clock and score, both teams.
Sure's got to clear. Now back over to Curson. 30 seconds left in this third quarter. Degnan waiting
Hopkins
for help.
Got to go hard. Yeah, someone's got to go hard here. Take a chance.
It might be Angelus. Got a short stick midi on him, so he might be able to get some room. Back to his right in the middle of the field. Help comes. 4 seconds. Got to take a shot quickly. Grimes does and scores.
Fortune favors the bold. Keogh picks up the assist. Time's not on your side. Be aggressive. Jam the ball inside. Give Grimes a lot of credit for working himself from the far side of the field, Chris. He front swings left-handed. He gives a target. The ball's on the money. Keogh hits him right in stride, and he puts the ball on net, putting some pressure on the goaltender. So, just, again, clock and score awareness, taking a chance late before the quarter.
And that final second of the third quarter ticks off. Big goal for Hopkins, who had built that lead back up to 3, and then a big juice goal by Max Waldbaum cut it to 2. But in the final seconds of this third quarter, it was Brendan Grimes who took advantage of a nice dish.
Old Spice College Lacrosse is brought to you by Old Spice. Smell ready for anything.
10-7, Hopkins on top as we head to the fourth. Cold day in Baltimore. Those fans didn't seem to care. They're out here supporting the Blue Jays. Although, as we noticed before, Q, they're out of hot dogs, which I don't know if it's going to upset the fans there at home, but it would certainly upset Russ DeLynn, our statistician. He's always looking forward to halftime and going down to the food trucks and seeing what he can pick up. There we go. They got chicken tenders and fries.
What more do you want in life?
Dogs.
The food trucks, the band, chill in the air, the harbinger of spring. Too bad we got a month and a half of winter to get through.
These fans don't care. These players don't care.
Just a warning, if we're on site, man, you better have more hot dogs if Russ DeLynn is starting the game with us. Best in the business by far.
When he's well fed.
But Joey Chestnut's got nothing on Russ.
Angelus now. He got loose. Another dive for the loose ball, won by Jacksonville.
Grimes playing attack in the second half. Big number 9, the sophomore. Chauvette started in that left-handed position. Jays kind of lack quality lefties who can dodge. Their lefties are mainly shooters. But in my eyes, Jack Keogh's been their MVP on offense. 2 goals, 3 assists. This has been the Jack Keogh. Kid's dealt with all sorts of injuries. They've always liked him, but he's never been able to put together a season and stay healthy. Today's his day. He's got 5 points.
Dolphins trail by 3 here, start of this fourth quarter. And we're able to win possession back on the other end. Now let's see what Winston and company can do here. Dolan to his left. Nice job defensively on the back check. Dolan couldn't get a very good shot off. Stay with Jacksonville. 32 to shoot. Waldbaum, who's been ridiculously good today. Corpora spinning, now loses the ball as he goes down. Picked up by Martin. Martin's got some good legs. Can really run. Gets it to Shore. Trying to pick up the loose ball and does.
Shore was a close defender, long pole defender. This is his first action with that 40-inch stick. He's done a nice job, though. Coach Milliman spoke highly of Brandon Shore, who's in grad school, been a bright spot, former close defender. That's not an easy transition, Chris, when you turn in that 6-foot long pole for a standard size.
Right.
Those guys typically struggle because they become so reliant on the length of that pole.
Grimes. That lefty bounce shot goes wide. DeSimone with Hinton on him. That's a good matchup. Keogh sets a pick and DeSimone scores.
DeSimone, 25 goals and 20 assists last season. What jumps out at me, though, is he shot 42%. This is a guy who struggled back in 2019. He put on some weight. It was kind of a program decision to get stronger, and he only scored 4 goals that year and shot 11%. Well, he's restructured his body, and I have never seen him look this fast. Like he shot out of a cannon off the end line. He's been their best Dodger today. He's been impactful from X, a great sign. Connor DeSimone off to a strong start.
You said it earlier, Q, and Jacksonville was down 3 goals in the first half. Don't look at the scoreboard. Just continue to play their game. They're in a similar situation here on the road in the fourth quarter, trailing by 4. Wall bomb. Over to Ebo.
Yeah, Johns Hopkins midfield defense much improved today. Guys aren't getting toasted, roasted, and smoked. And when they do, they get nice double teams.
Nice job by Curson. Maybe force that pass. Nice wall bomb. Mabbitt. Peshko now out of the box. Over to McDermott. Defensive double team dislodging the ball. Now we'll get a whistle. Loose ball push against Jacksonville. Back to Hopkins. After the loose ball push, shot clock resets to 60. DeSimone on the move. Being harassed by Hinton.
Motion offense by Hopkins.
Epstein. Got his right free. A lot of traffic in front. DeSimone, that may have hit DeSimone.
Not a good shot by Epstein, who's been really quiet today.
Hopkins gets possession back and fresh 60 on the clock. This is going to be a long defensive possession here for Jacksonville.
Body punches now. Work this defense. Make them earn it.
Shot over the top.
Great closeout defensively on that to challenge that shooter.
You can hear
get to hands, get to the body, get to the eyes.
Milliken goes down to get that shot.
Third chance.
Robbing Raposo, but you're right, man. Another 60 seconds. Epstein. Tough angle shot high.
Potential timeout here by Jacksonville if you think your defense is really tired. You got 2. Galloway not calling timeout.
Right.
Might be a situation as a goalie where my shoelace would come untied all of a sudden, Chris, and I'd ask the official kindly, who I've worked all game.
Right.
Kevin, Keith, David, can I tie my shoe here for a second?
Right.
And being such a cold day, I would do it really, really slow to allow my defense to catch their breath.
Probably had a pair of shark tooths. Angeles now trying to work that short stick over to Keogh's. Had a great game.
I had the Bo Jackson cross trainer.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, right when they first came out, too. Those things are the best. Howie Long, I think, wore them, and Bo Jackson back then.
I never had a pair. Never really liked them that much. You fell for the marketing. Winston gets his left free and scores. Jennings was all over him from behind, but Winston didn't seem to mind.
This is a really smart take from Jeremy Winston, the graduate student from Dallas, Texas. He senses that Hopkins defense, again, early in the possession during the sub period, they're not fully stacked. They don't have their full allotment of 6 defenders and a goalie. What does that create? More space, more lanes, more opportunity. They don't wait. They don't allow the defense to set up. This is not the Revolutionary War where you line up on one side and we line up on the other. Sometimes guerrilla warfare offensively works better.
Deficit is 3. Dunn continues to impress at the faceoff X. Loses his footing. Stays with DeSimone and Hopkins. Crowd wanted a call there. They won't get it. When it's this cold, Q, it's an extra special or an extra difficult day, rather, for faceoff men, isn't it? Because you're sitting there on the sidelines waiting and waiting and waiting, freezing, and then you finally got to get in there and you got to be fast. Those fast twitch muscles have to fire.
Delayed penalty coming up. Oh, it's brutal, man. Right now it's 28. The wind was really howling earlier. It doesn't seem like it's as severe now, and the sun's going to radiate and make it feel warm. But cold days like this, man, you don't want to be a scrub on a day like this. You don't want to have to come off the bench.
Second
Coach
flag
looks
coming
to you
down.
And says, hey, Cotter, get in there. Go run and shift the midfield. You're like,
right.
Coach, I can't feel my hands. I can't feel my toes.
DeSimone now, he'll take a shot. And Milliken is there, but we're going to sort out all these flags. We're going to have 2 separate calls here.
So what are you doing on a super cold day on the sideline if you're a reserve player to stay functional? So when Coach does say, hey, Cotter, get in there, win us a faceoff. Hey, go run a shift. Like that, you're not an ice cube. You got to stay bundled up. You got to have some hot pockets. You got to stay close to that heater if you got it. Like
any whistle that you get,
football game.
Yeah, any whistle you get, you got to throw a little bit, don't you? I mean, just
throw
right now. Take advantage of this time.
Keep it moving.
As both coaches want an explanation, as do we, as to what's going on here. 7:29 left to go in the game. Hopkins by 3. It's a big call right here.
Yeah, halfway through the 4th now. If you're the Blue Jays, you're looking to have the killer instinct here and put this thing out of reach.
Let's see what we got. Okay, you heard our officials today. Kevin Forrester, Keith Runk, David Shanuel are 3 officials. The explanation, it'll be Hopkins' ball, and they'll be up a man.
That was David. Rare to see 3 fouls on 1 call. Impressive that he could do that without writing it down. Nine on 8, meaning 5 on 4 in the offensive zone. The defense is going to be in a box formation or a diamond. Hopkins has 5 offensive players. They'll probably put someone right in the slot in the middle of that defensive formation. And then go with a 4-man perimeter. Right now they're in a 5-man perimeter.
Now you can see that that's a great shot right there. That Jacksonville defense, the way they're going to start this when the whistle blows, just circle the
Box
wagons.
or a diamond. You share the inside man. Hopkins hasn't put anyone on the inside now, which I would love if I were Luke Milliken. That's where this defense is vulnerable, and you shrink that box to that diamond by putting a player in that slot or crease area.
Grimes and Peshko along with Angeles.
Now Peshko goes inside. That's where I thought he'd be to start.
He scored a goal man up from that same spot earlier in this game, right there in the middle.
Yeah, he's going to float and feel space, try to put himself in the middle of that bubble.
Milliken continues to be impressive.
Clearing man down. Someone's got to make a play. Beat your man. Run by him. Nobody's open. Okay, usually on a clear, somebody's open. No one's open here.
Now to the middle of the field. Got 5 seconds to get it across that midfield line, and of course it's Winston who gets it done. Try to get it to Dolan. Can't.
Nice stick in the passing lane. I think it was Smith, long pole.
May have an offside here. I think that's what we got against Hopkins. Now we get another whistle.
Yeah, just to clean up the restart.
Yep.
But again, situational awareness. We're up a man. How many guys have to stay back? We always have to have 4 back. They can be any 4 players.
Milliken
we always have to have
agree
4 back.
At the end of the day, we're full strength. Dolan looking for a call.
Coach Galloway showing off his 40 time. Who's always a super fast goaltender, light on his feet.
And getting the timeout. Full strength. Jacksonville down 3, though, with the ball when we come back.
Honda has Honda certified pre-owned vehicles with a 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, a 182-point inspection, and 24/7 roadside assistance. To save on a Honda certified pre-owned vehicle, search your local Honda dealer today.
Let's look at who's ready for anything in today's game. It's brought to you by Old Spice. Connor DeSimone, 3 goals and assists, 4 points on the day, Q.
He's had a big day. The grad student from Smithtown East in Suffolk County of Long Island. I think his speed has been, it's really been eye-opening.
Back in action here. Wallbaum. He's got 4 goals on the day for Jacksonville. They've got to get something going offensively. 6 minutes left to go in the game. The bounce shot is too high.
Even strength.
Intrieri, though, wins the race to the end. You're right. Even strength here. We had a 1 minute man up for Hopkins. Milliken was able to make the big save.
I was distracted by the band playing Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne during the break.
Right.
None better, man. What band plays Crazy Train by Ozzy?
Bo Hunter.
This is just such an important possession in this game.
Corpora.
No flag. No flag. Wow.
Nothing. Right in front of that Jacksonville bench. They're incredulous. Matters not, though.
It's always been a home court advantage for Hopkins. Tell you that much.
You should know.
You know, the refs have 3 options there. No call, or you call a loose ball push, or you call a push with possession.
Here's a look at it. That's possession right there. That's a push with possession.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it? I mean, clip that one for the opposing coaches coming into Homewood and not getting the calls real.
Grimes now made that switch to attack in the middle of this game, and it's paid dividends. Degnan. Still plenty of time. 26 seconds on that shot clock. DeSimone coming upfield. Man, Milliken goes down to make that save. Fresh 60, though, and Hopkins will be glad to run that 60 off.
DeSimone's getting his looks. Again, there's a burst there. Going hard to good spots. Jacksonville doesn't want to double team from the inside, clearly. They're not coming down on him with the adjacent man. And so he's taking that shot while kind of fading away, but he's great in separation, no doubt. It's a positive. I think he and Jack Keogh have been the biggest two positives for the Jays on offense.
Here's Angeles. Trying to work a little two-man with Epstein behind the cage. Nice job deflecting the pass. We'll get it in the crease here against Hopkins, so Hinton will look to clear quickly.
Good time to push. Good time to push.
Deacon does just that. Now Winston coming on. You see him 14. Couldn't get open. Dolan
Good time
does,
to go.
though.
You got a nice matchup here. You got some midfielders caught on playing defense. In the middle, I think it's 9.
That's Grimes.
Grimes playing D.
Wall bomb back to his right. Winston.
Grimes gets off the field. Look, that's offensively, Chris, where you got to communicate. Okay, you got to communicate. Hey, I got one. I got one of their offensive guys caught on defense. Yell it out. Echo the call. Exploit the matchup.
Wall bomb. Just like a cement truck coming upfield. That one gets deflected, doesn't get to the cage. Now a shot. Goes wide, and it'll stay with Jacksonville. 25 to shoot. Just 2:40 left in this game, though, and they still trail by 3 goals. Here's Winston. Oh, off the pipe. Nice job on that rebound, too. That was coming at him a million miles an hour. Jennings picked it up. Got 5 seconds to clear. Loose ball picked up by Jacksonville.
Wow, it's like Jacksonville's got extra guys lurking by the midfield line. Outside. It's a mom goal and a ref goal.
Now waiting on what the officials are saying here. That's the right call, I think. Curson picked it up. Hopkins ball.
Second failed clear here late by Hopkins.
Physical play in the middle of the field, but Johns Hopkins does get it back. Now it's desperation time for Jacksonville.
Yeah, Jacksonville's got to stretch here. Come out and play the ball. Again, you're a little tired. This is tough. The adjacent men have to shut off. Throw some checks. It's okay to get beat. Milliken's got to come out of the net eventually here, too.
Deacon and Hinton, the double team here. We'll get a timeout on the field. 40 seconds on the shot clock. Minute 12 in the game. Coach Millman calls it, wants to discuss things with his team. He's in a good spot here. You talked about it earlier, Q. How this is just a must-win game for Hopkins at home because of their schedule. I mean, it is a gauntlet from the start, and then they get into Big Ten play. This is before they even get into Big Ten play. You're at Towson next Friday, at Georgetown, Loyola, North Carolina, Virginia out of the ACC. Then they got Navy. They've got a Delaware team who's one of the better teams in that conference, maybe the best team in that conference.
It's so important that they kind of take off where they left off last year. As we said earlier, 4-9 in 2021. It was an historically bad season for this program. It's won 9 NCAA titles and 44 national championships back when they started this game back in 1883. Okay, I think we see some positives today. Clearly, the defense looks better close, and the short stick defensive midfielders much better today, Chris. You got some injury issues at the face-off spot. Matt Naruski not in the lineup today. Tyler Dunn did okay. DeSimone on attack and Keogh on midfield certainly were stars. And I'd say that the biggest area of concern going forward, again, is just the lack of dodging midfield, the lack of dodgers, guys who can draw slides to create offense, because this team does have ample shooters and ample passers. The question is, do they have ample penetrators?
Mm-hmm.
I love the schedule. I mean, you look around the country, Maryland, Loyola, Johns Hopkins, Denver, ridiculously hard schedules. Georgetown, Coach Kevin Warren, he upgraded. There's a couple other teams that's not the case. And, you know, if you're playing college lacrosse at the high level D1, man, you want to play big games.
Go right away, Dees, right away.
Shot on the empty net for Hopkins. Stays with the Blue Jays, though, as DeSimone was backing up the play. Now you see the desperation on defense for Jacksonville. Good
nice
check.
Double.
Deacon, man.
Great double. Turn them, and the other man makes the play.
Now they got to go quickly. Dolan.
Trailer.
Reiner on the far
trailer.
side. That's Hettinger coming in fast. Good job getting back defensively, though. Hopkins giving him
Great
nothing
point.
easy. Getting
Joey
another
Epstein
timeout.
was one of those guys back in the hole, Chris. You make a really valid point. Jacksonville executes the double team. You're all spread out offensively at that stage. You try to keep the field balance, and there's Epstein, 32, is a natural attackman, hustling into the hole to take away the easy transition. So that was good by both teams.
40.9 left to go here in this game. Hopkins up 3. Jacksonville does have the ball. Q, we keep talking about how some of these non-conference schedules are great. And, you know, oftentimes we start the year earlier and earlier, it seems, every year in February. I mean, you know, some years we don't have great games. Look at some of these games in February. Great games this month.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the new norm in terms of, because April, May are more league games than league tournaments. The Maryland Loyola games can be epic. A couple weeks ago, I was at Loyola with Charlie Toomey, spent a day there doing a goalie clinic. Couldn't be more impressed with the Greyhounds, their culture, their staff, the players, just the way they operate. And they're going to have a strong team this season. You got to see Duke last night. You get to see them again in action, tomorrow, I believe, against Vermont on Sunday.
Yeah, good Vermont team, by the way, too.
Notre Dame, they're at the bottom. They'll start in a little late. The Fighting Irish last year were as good as anybody for 50 minutes. They just couldn't close out games. And then, of course, Rutgers. Scarlet Knights, they were the magical story of 2021. Can they duplicate that? They lose some firepower, I know. But Coach Brian Brecht, man, he's living in the transfer portal. And I don't blame him. He's like the only lacrosse coach who's caught on to what we experience every week in college football. Like the transfer portal, it's part of the deal now.
Right.
Get involved.
Winston now loses his footing, thought he might keep it. Big battle for a loose ball, won by Hopkins. That's Scott Smith coming out of there with it.
Don't corner yourself now. If you're Grimes, run the space.
Bouncer picked off by Milliken. Final seconds of this one at Homewood. Curson is there to make the stop, and he'll allow the clock to wind down. Spirited effort by Jacksonville on the road on a cold day in Baltimore. But that man, Peter Millman, gets a hard-fought win. Win number 1 on the year for Hopkins.
And the band plays on. In year 135 for this program. Blue Jays defense in the second half was outstanding, holding Jacksonville to 3 goals on 18 shots. Josh Curson only had to make 1 save in the second half. That last play was his first save of the second half. So credit to Jack Line, Owen McManus, Bo Zuluk, the much improved shorties, Martin, Mabbitt, Lilly, who had a goal, Shore, and others. So a really strong final 30 minutes of defense.
Something to build on for Coach Millman as he addresses his team on the field here at Homewood. And they're going to need to build on it. At Towson next Friday before the gauntlet really starts. Georgetown, Loyola, UNC, Virginia, Syracuse. We mentioned it on and on. for Coach Millman. But it's a huge win today at home for the Blue Jays. Took the early lead. That man right there, Max Waldbaum, made it a game for Jacksonville, but in the end, it was Hopkins with the W. For Quinn Kesnick and our entire team, I'm Chris Cotter. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time.